Strengthening Agribusiness Ethics, Quality Standards and ICT Usage in Uganda's Value Chains, the research was initiated to find answers to one central question: how can we have a better business climate that fosters a permanent and positive gradual change in practices, attitudes in agribusiness towards ethical behavior, quality standards in food security, and agribusiness initiatives? Despite the benefits enshrined in embracing ethical and quality issues with respect to accelerating transformation, competitiveness, and sustainability of a vibrant food security program and a vibrant food game, there is a considerable lack of attention to these two issues in agribusiness value chain. The main objectives of the project are to establish alternative ways of encouraging beneficiaries of agriculture development supported initiatives to engage in dialogue on introducing ethical agriculture standards, develop and disseminate resources necessary to make informed, ethical and quality standard-based decisions in support of a more just and equitable food and agriculture value chain system. Ascertain how decision-making procedures in international food and agriculture policy and practices can be implemented by agricultural players at the bottom of the pyramid. Assist agricultural value chain micro players to adhere to basic codes of conduct. Review existing agribusiness quality standards, ethical dilemmas, and mobile ICT. Create applications like mobile apps to determine their appropriateness in sustaining a competitive agribusiness climate. Develop a website and mobile app which can be used as a reference point for agriculture standards and ethical practices, and a farmer-to-buyer brokerage and market information access point. And finally, to address a fundamental question: how can we have a better business climate in Uganda that fosters a permanent and positive gradual change in practices and attitudes in agribusiness towards ethical behavior and quality standards in food security and agribusiness initiatives? The researchers noted that it was not easy to get information from value chain players. The complex nature of this question can best be answered through multi-stakeholder engagements that involve various agribusiness players. Hence, as an applied research project, AGRI-QUEST will utilize engagement processes that include capacity building of farmers and value chain players, wide consultations and stakeholder engagement to ensure buy-in, uptake of research outcomes, and knowledge exchange for a better business climate. After all the possibilities used, the AGRI-QUEST research team found out a number of issues. Promising though, the agribusiness and value chain players interacted with so far in Bulisa, Butaleja, Bujiri, Kapchorwa, Mbale, Palisa, Sironko, Hoima, Lira, Pader, and Apache, all being some of the districts in Uganda targeted by AGRI-QUEST. They felt that it is important to have ethical agriculture practices and voluntary in-house quality standards. It is very important for the value chain actors to work with the different farmers and also be able to attract more investors. Most agribusiness and value chain players at the lower levels of value chains that were interacted with are not aware that they are part of the international food and agriculture value chains. Most stakeholder and project targeted respondents expected agribusiness to meet their costs incurred for participating in our research project. For example, for giving us data, transport them to workshops, and buy for them airtime. In addition to that, some of them expected to receive materials to use in their businesses, such as produce drying materials for quality improvement, like mats, racks, and buy for them mobile phones that are internet-enabled, especially ahead of our ICT app and farmer-to-buyer platform to be developed. There is prevalence of corruption, which impacts heavily on integrity and transparency in value chains, and insufficient investment capital to pay for improved infrastructure like solar drying equipment, replace worn-out tarpaulins, and to pave or cement the floors of drying houses and yards, limited access to extension services that promote ethical business behavior and quality standards. There is a considerable lack of attention to issues in agribusiness value chains in Uganda. People asking for money to provide information, which is a big problem to the research team. is of dairy farmers who deliberately add dirty water in milk so that they can have more quantity, as well as cassava growers who dry cassava on the ground, while rice farmers add stones in their produce. The project has managed to reach over 300,000 micro players and farmers. Most research projects never take back the information to the researchers.